That's my normal guy look. No products added. Two of the most gatekeeping fucking things in the world, or at least the people that are in these things try to keep them that way, are punk rock and magic. The people that are in both of these scenes, for the most part, are assholes who think their shit don't stink and who think there's some kind of authority on something. When both things are very open to anyone, you know, they're more open than a lot of other things. Anyone can do magic, as the great John Constantine says. Any cunt can do magic, and he's not even a real guy. Same thing with punk rock. The whole idea behind punk rock was anyone could just pick up an instrument and get up on stage or perform. And over time, like, these two things have become the most fucking gatekept art forms, I guess. They're sort of art forms. Magic arts. I don't know, maybe you call it that. But I think if you can see this stuff, that these are indeed very gate-kept institutions, I think it behooves you to try to not add to that and be a dick about it. I think punk rock is lost. You're never going to be able to make that as accessible as it once was, because there's too much money in it now. I mean, yeah, I think it's a money thing. There's no money really in magic like there is in punk rock. Punk rock can be has been institutionalized, co-opted. You know, there's going to be a certain amount of gatekeeping going on there. It's funny because people in that scene always used to be, anyway, anti-corporate, anti-capitalist, that type of stuff. Now, oh, check it out. Those are tunnels I was telling you about. Yeah, they run all around here. I didn't know the one was still open. I thought they closed them all up. Yeah, it's pretty musty looking. But you can, I mean, it's large enough to walk through. That's a whole nother video, though. I just did a video about the fucking underground tunnels here. Different subject. But, demystifying magic is important because people should be able to feel like they can do it, because anyone can do it. And in these times of economic uncertainty is usually historically when people turn to magic, when they feel like things are out of their control. They've always felt like, I mean, it's always appeared to be that this is when people, an interest in magic becomes larger, because people want to kind of wrest back control of their situation. Magic, however, can't really be done by everybody. So that's one of those instant contradiction moments that I have a lot of. But it's something only the 5% can do. Magic can only be practiced, and when I say practice or art, it's a technology. It's a metaphysical science. It's a science. It's a technology, and science, real science, not capital S science that Reddit likes so much. I mean, real science, where you can apply the scientific method to it. You can certainly do that with magic. But it's a 5% only kind of endeavor, because it requires imagination. I mean, the imagination is what is going to power your thought forms or constructs, or, you know, whatever you want to call it. If you can't picture an apple in your mind, You know, then you can't do magic. There's just no way. Or do it effectively. You might think you're doing it, but it's not going to be very effective. You have to be able to imagine things. Because what you're doing, essentially, it all breaks down to this. What you're trying to do is imagine something in the 4D to then have an effect on the 3D. This place here, the screen here. But the so if you're a 95%er, you have no inner dialogue. You can't picture an apple. You probably can't use the technology. What you see is one of those thechadti stand-ons. We get a guy over here wanting to come out. We get a guy wanting to go this way. We get a guy over here to come out. Usually when one of these things pop up, I just stand back. I get as far out of the way as I can where I can't be killed. And I just let everybody fight it out. And then I wait till they're all done fighting, and then I fucking come out. Happens on my street a lot. Happens on my street a lot. So, you know, very dangerous place to walk. But yeah, it's so dangerous that I fucking forgot what the fuck I was talking about. Hold on a second. Let me regroup. Sometimes I'm just walking along and these things jump out at me. Poor guy. Speaking of comic book characters, right? I was mentioning John Constantine earlier. This is gonna sound ridiculous, but the Doctor Strange movie, right? Which is like, you know, Marvel movie magic, which there's a lot of stuff in there that's kind of the same, but totally helped me with my thought forms prior to seeing the way they did it in that movie. And I know, I guess they do the same thing in Harry Potter, but I never watched those movies. Cause I'm like Harry Pissy Pants Potter. So when seeing those movies, the way they made the constructs, they were very light. They had like a lot of lattice work, and it was more of a design, almost like sigils. Or they were kind of like sigils. When I used to think about constructs, thought forms, I used to use the Green Lantern method. So everything was kind of filled in, chunky. They felt heavy. They felt heavy. And then when I saw the way they did the special effects in Doctor Strange, just for instance, like when he casts a spell and like a circle will appear around his hand, you know, it looks like lattice work or something, like a lace or something. That was like really a thing for me that changed the way I do my thought form when it comes to shielding, energy healing, stuff like that. Even stuff that I use to move, I designed them like that, like with lattice work in them, because they feel lighter, and it makes me feel like I'm using less energy, even though it's fucking the same amount of energy. But it's all about, sometimes when you're doing stuff like that, when you're doing thought forms, it's about tricking yourself into habits, you know, or at least for me. And that could be extended to a lot of different things, like too, if you're doing exercise, like middle pillar column exercises, like where you have to picture light coming from the sky, penetrating anything like that. It can apply to there too. Yeah, when I used to think about it in my mind, when I used to try to do thought forms, it was always like solid, you know, big, chunky. And I feel like it made me use more energy. The energy, the thing is, back in the day, in most magic systems, the idea was you had to get the energy from outside. That you do that through breathing. You know, you breathing in oxygen would help you to create energy, and it was always very cognizant of not using too much energy. You don't, in magic, you didn't want to use your own energy. You want to use energy outside you. Bad guys still do that when they do their sacrifices, and they, you know, because the reason they have to do those evil things is to work up enough energy to do the stuff they want to do, because they don't have the energy in them. They are absolutely 95%ers, but they have the magical concepts from just knowledge, and they try to use this, but they don't have the energy to do them, so they have to get the energy from an outside source. And that's where you have sacrifice and stuff like that, because they need to power up stuff to do the work they want to do, to accomplish the stuff they want to do. That's a 95%er thing. Yeah, all the evil people that rule the world or run the world, they're not divine beings themselves, so they can't do it at the levels where they're actually executing the stuff. Now, high up, their bosses, I guess you could call them divine beings, or fallen divine beings, but the regular guys that are doing the run work, the fucking scooter work, what's that word? Gopher work, scooter. Scooter or gopher? I think I'm getting lost in fucking the Muppet Show there for idea. But those guys need to power their magics with the outside energy, because they don't have the energy to do it. And that's why, like the other day, I was talking about how they bombard you with like depressing shit in the news. They want to fill your head with this stuff, right? So then you think about it, you imagine it, and then it appears in the world. So what you're doing is you're creating their shit world for them, because they're seeding you with these ideas. If they could do it themselves, they wouldn't even need you. You'd be out of the equation, but they need you. They can't do anything without you. All the shit they do, they need you to do it. They have to get you to imagine the world they want, because they can't do it themselves. Fix it. But yeah, I always tell people they should learn a little bit about magic, because it's being used on you every single day without your knowledge or consent. I'm a bit of an extremist with that, though. I mean, I don't know if a lot of practitioners or occultists would agree with me, but I feel like even something as simple as using a vending machine is you're participating in kind of a ritual. What you're doing is you're putting your will out there in the form of your money, and currency does carry energy, especially when you work for it. That's why the bank would rather repossess like houses and stuff, because you worked for that money to put into that house. Now that house is charged, and what they get back from it has value to them. That the numbers on the computer don't have value on them. They need it to go through your hands before it becomes useful to them, before they can get a jolt out of it. Currency. You look at the stuff surrounding. It's all in the words, because words are spells, spellcraft. The words that have to do with banking and finance are all tend to be electricity centered, or there's a lot of them. And you'll find that with just anything like law. Has a lot of words that have to do with water, because what they use in America is maritime law, which is really ship law. That's why the flags in most courtrooms have gold tassels around them, or all courtrooms. That's a whole nother video. But yeah, just learn about the basics of magic. You go on YouTube, and there's this great guy that demystifies it. I think I might have been talking about it earlier, but I'll put his name and stuff up there. And yeah, there's gatekeeping occultist magic people who don't like this guy, because what he tries to do is break it down so that people can have a practical application for it, so they can just start understanding how it works and how it's being used on them. And why you should know how it's being used on you, or that it's being used on you, is once you know a little bit how it works, the effect on you that's being put on you against your will isn't as strong anymore. And I know this is going to upset the boys, but the example I always use is, if you see the magician's assistant slipping the rabbit on the side of the stage, when he pulls it out of the hat, you don't give a fuck. Knowing is 100% of the battle. Once you know, it doesn't have the same hold on you. In fact, it'll in some instances inoculate you from it completely. So yeah, it would be good for everyone just to learn a little bit about it. That guy's a good a good source because he explains things really well that normal people can understand. You know, you listen to some of these podcasts and it's like, is this the fucking Shakespeare podcast or is this trying to explain magic? You know, it's so fucking, yeah, magic and punk rock. The two things that should be open to everyone. Is that it for now? Well, it's got to be it because I'm home, so I guess that's it for now. I'll be back later. I'm always back. You're a fucking bad penny. HPV. Can't get rid of me. Thanks for dropping in. Till next time, as always, don't blame the teacher, blame the school. We're looking at the Queen Capilani statue from behind in the park, and we thought it was a person up here. Because they did something to it, like they recolored it. Like that blue is all new, right?
Yeah, I think it was just one color, that same color as the face.
Yeah, but from behind it looked like a person.
Real person.
Yeah.
With real hair, but it was lace.
or one of those dudes that like pretend to be a statue.
Yeah.
But I mean, I know there's a statue. It's been here, you know.
Yeah, I think he was just standing there. Like.
I wonder when the statue came in here. I don't know. It looks nice though. They definitely retouched it. Yeah, the face is like bronze, but the body's blue. That looks new. That looks brand new. Like they did something new to it.
Maybe they just colored blue on top.
I don't know.